Scar is one of Disney's most memorable villains, but the 2019 Lion King movie has changed some crucial details about the evil lion's origins and story. Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, I'm Jan, and in this video I'm explaining the new secret history of Scar that's revealed in the Lion King remake. Plus I'll tell you how the new movie addresses a long-standing fan theory that Scar and Mufasa aren't actually brothers. Some spoilers ahead, so take care if you haven't seen it yet. Don't forget my giveaway is running, so be sure to subscribe and let me know your thoughts about Scar for a chance to win. The origin of Scar's name and how he received the wound on his eye were never addressed in the classic movie. However, there's a vital addition to the remake's version of the following scene.
Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
Temper. I wouldn't dream of challenging you.
In the 2019 version, Scar says, "I wouldn't dream of challenging you again," meaning that there's already been a confrontation between the two lions in the past. And I think the new film hints that it was during this previous challenge that Mufasa gave Scar the signature wound across his left eye. For example, in the reworked story, when Mufasa begs his brother for help during the stampede, Scar viciously slashes him across the eye, which sends Mufasa plunging to his death in the gorge below. This is a change to the traditional animation where Scar flings Mufasa off the cliff. By adding the face slash in the remake, it suggests that the villainous lion is taking revenge in kind for the scar Mufasa gave him. Now, what's also interesting about this change is that it seems to invalidate the backstory given to Scar in a book series that was a spin-off from the classic film. The first story of that series, A Tale of Two Brothers, recounted that Scar was originally called Taka, and that he changed his name to Scar after getting into a scrape with a buffalo that slashed him across the eye with his horns. Although that book series was authorised by Disney, it's not entirely clear whether it's ever been canon, as elements from it don't fit with the animated Lion King sequel. Either way, the 2019 movie suggests a brand new origin for Scar's signature wound. Another change in the remake that's quite likely related to that fateful challenge between Scar and Mufasa is Scar's new backstory with Sarabi, who was Mufasa's Queen of the Pride Lands. In the new movie, a subplot involving romantic jealousy has been added to Scar's origins, and the first hint at that comes at the beginning of the new story, when Scar says to Mufasa and Zazu, "As you know, I have tremendous respect for the Queen." In fact, in the novelisation of the new Lion King film, when Scar says that line, it triggers an intense anger in Mufasa. This indicates that Mufasa and Scar's rivalry over Sarabi has been stewing for some time, and it also reveals that, as well as wanting to rule the Pride Lands, there was an additional motive behind Scar's personal feud with Mufasa. Later, after Scar takes over as king, Sarabi accuses him of overhunting, at which point he reveals,
"Long ago, you chose Mufasa over me, but now there is a new king."
With Mufasa gone, Scar now requests that she join him as queen. That new dialogue reminds me of a deleted scene from the 1994 movie, where Scar was wondering why his subjects don't look up to him like they did his brother.
I'm sick to death of him. What did he have that I don't have?
Adoring subjects, respect of your species, a loving family, a devoted queen, shall I go on, sire?
In the remake, Scar realises he's unloved by the rest of the Pride, and believes that if he can make Sarabi his partner, then he'll gain the respect she has from the other lions.
Yes, I need a queen. She would rule by my side. We'll have cubs, little Scars running all over the place.
In the deleted scene from 1994, Scar actually proposes to Nala rather than Sarabi. Like Simba's mother, Nala also refused, and Scar responded by threatening her.
Nala. You know you really have no choice. One way or another, I always get what I want.
Either be my queen, or be forever banished from the Pride Lands.
Scar's creepy threats in the animated movie were also going to be one of the reasons that Nala decided to leave Pride Rock to look for help. And there's another nod to that deleted scene in a brand new scene for Nala in the remake, where she has to sneak around Scar and the hyenas before she can get away. Another change to Scar's backstory is that in the new version he doesn't team up with the hyenas before his visit to the elephant graveyard. Now when Scar arrives, it's clear there isn't an alliance between them yet, as they even threaten to eat him. This is quite different to the first movie, where the hyenas are obviously on familiar terms with Scar.
Oh, Scar, it's just you.
Oh, we were afraid it was somebody important.
I mean, you're one of us. I mean, you're our pal.
He even brings them fresh meat to eat.
I don't think you really deserve this. I practically gift-wrapped those cubs for you.
Given Scar's lack of familiarity with the hyenas in the CG reboot, it seems like his plan to send Simba to the elephant graveyard wasn't something pre-arranged with them. He was simply hoping to take advantage of the hyenas' natural behaviour and that they'd kill and eat the young cub of their own accord. There's an interesting change to how Scar guilt-trips Simba about Mufasa's death in the remake. This time Scar takes Simba into the gorge, specifically under the pretext that the little cub needs to practice his roar.
This gorge is where all lions come to find their roar.
Watch this.
You'll get it, Simba. Just takes time.
Dad will be so proud, won't he?
It's a gift he'll never forget.
By contrast, in the 1994 classic, Scar tells Simba to wait there for a marvellous surprise from his father.
Ooh, what is it?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise now, would it?
And rather deviously only mentions practicing his roar as a throwaway line in passing.
And just between us, you might want to work on that little roar of yours,
However, in the new movie, Scar deliberately and clearly links Simba's roar with his father.
Even Mufasa came here when he was your age. Refused to leave until his roar could be heard above the rim.
Which firmly plants the seed in the young lion's mind that practicing his roar led to his dad's death. That makes Simba feel even guiltier later when he thinks his father died trying to save him. And when Scar arrives to find the poor little cub grieving over his dead father, in the remake the villain twists the knife even further with some brand new lines not in the animated movie. Scar says to Simba, your father had such hopes for you, gave you so many chances, and this is how you repay him. Then after asking the young cub,
what will your mother think?
In the new version, Scar also tells Simba that he's a son who caused his father's death and a boy who killed a king. Something that's confused Lion King fans for many years is a theory that claims Scar and Mufasa might not really be brothers. I think the new movie gives its own answer to that question, but just before we get into that, we need to review the evidence for why Scar and Mufasa might not be related by blood. The moment from the 1994 film used to support that theory is when Scar compares his intellectual and physical capabilities with Mufasa's.
As far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength,
I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
The theory claims that what Scar's really saying is that he and Mufasa aren't genetically related. When it comes to the theory, there have been some conflicting attempts by the animation's filmmakers to clarify the situation. In a 2017 interview with Hello Giggles, producer Don Hahn said, while making the movie, we talked about the fact that it was very likely Scar and Mufasa would not have both the same parents. Occasionally there are prides that do have two male lions, but they're not equals. One lion will always kind of be off in the shadows. We were trying to use those animal truths to underpin the story, so we sort of figured Scar and Mufasa couldn't really be from the same gene pool. But while Hahn heavily implied Scar and Mufasa weren't brothers, to add to the confusion, a couple of weeks later, The Lion King's director Rob Minkoff told Screen Junkies the exact opposite, saying that he wanted to clear up that Scar and Mufasa were in fact brothers. Despite all that, the 2019 movie seems to take a few steps to provide more clarity. First of all, the shallow end of the gene pool line from Scar has been replaced, and he now says, when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid my big brother will always rule. So the original line which seemed to trigger the theory has been scrapped, and substituted with Scar specifically calling Mufasa his big brother. On top of that, there's another change at the end of the new film. Just after Scar confesses to Simba that he killed Mufasa, a new line has been added where Simba asks him, "Your own brother, how could you?" The emphasis on this new line implies that Simba is completely outraged because he views Scar's murder of Mufasa as even more heinous as the two lions were related. Disney also used the opportunity of remaking The Lion King to fix a number of other mistakes and confusing moments in the classic movie. You can learn all about those in my other video. Tap the screen to watch that or click the link in the video description. Now, what do you think about the new Scar and the changes to the villain's story? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe to enter my Lion King giveaway. Next, tap left for my full comparison of the two Lion King movies, or tap right for another video you're sure to like. And if you enjoyed this, a like and a share are always hugely appreciated. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!